We can all agree that most of the things that we're taught in school are pretty much useless in the real world. Like after I finished school, I don't remember using a single thing I learned during when I was in school. I have no clue how to get a mortgage or lease a car or apply for a loan. I had to teach all of these by myself. So I thought it would be a great idea for me to come up with the list of things that actually need to be taught in schools so that graduates are actually prepared for the real world. I remember learning the fact that a squared plus b squared equals c squared in school, but I don't remember getting taught how to manage my money. I could have saved thousands of pounds if they actually taught me this at school. Why don't they teach this? Knowing how to manage your money is extremely important in the real world. You could literally save thousands of pounds. They say that school always got your best interest, yet they teach useless garbage like the area of a rectangle is length times width. Like, in what universe would this benefit me in any way, shape or form? It's ridiculous. We need to be taught how to manage our money, where you gotta pay yourself first, pay off your debts, save money and stop spending your money on useless garbage. And of course, I ain't a financial advisor, but speaking of that, they need to actually bring financial advisors that teach general basics financial advice in assemblies and classes. Like, you guys feel where I'm coming from, bro? I'm 99.9% sure that they do not teach this in school. Well, definitely they didn't teach this in my school, and this gotta change. As again, I'll say it will save you so much time and money. Schools also need to teach about cybersecurity, in which you're protecting yourself from online cyber attacks and data breaches when browsing on the internet. We're now living in the digital age, so it's very easy for your online privacy to be invaded and your data being stolen. This is so important, as you don't want your personal information getting leaked online. Yet school doesn't stress this out, and most people don't take online protection seriously, as this is their thought process. Well, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care? This statement is an absolute quote. School should have taught this. We all had to learn that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but learning about taxes is never ever considered. I have absolutely no clue on how to pay tax. I didn't even know about the concept of tax until I just saw it in a tabloid article on the internet. I just recently realized that it's a compulsory charge set up by the government to provide funds on whatever for the country. Whether that's true or not nowadays, I'll just leave it up to you. But that's not the point. We still have to learn about this since this is very important. I can't remember a single time that paying taxes was mentioned in my class or at school. This is just absurd. I am so grateful that I taught myself taxes earlier, because if I didn't, there'll be a hefty tax bill on my shoulders. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be stressing the F out if that was the case. I also didn't know that you could pay less tax legally, and in order to do that, just do your own research. Again, I'm not a financial advisor or an accountant, but if this was taught in schools, like the basics, this would have never been a problem. People don't even know where you get deducted when you get income. Like, all this time, I thought the money that I was getting deducted from my payslip during when I was working those retail jobs was going to those crazy ass devious retail managers, or going to those money hungry CEOs' pockets. There's so much about tax and how to pay tax that I personally don't know, that I could have learned if schools actually considered teaching us, since it's vital, like getting an accountant so that the government doesn't rip you off. But let me not talk too much, since they might be watching. But they don't teach us this, and I'll never ever know why. And yes, I know the quotes from Shakespeare's books, but I don't have a single clue on how to invest. It's 2023. We're living in a crisis and know that inflation, rising in costs. Why are we learning quotes from books that will never benefit us? Instead of learning algebraic equations, how about we learn about the equations of investing? You know, like that. You see what I'm trying to say? How about you provide and break down useful books that will actually benefit us in the long term? Like, this is so important. Like, we should have been taught all of this in school. Y'all are tripping, man. I didn't know about no interest. What interest? Interest in some beautiful girl. Bonuses, stocks, shares, crypto, NFTs. Well, I take NFTs back, because that wasn't really an investment. There were so many scams in this NFT phase where that you could even tell if NFT was actually legit or a scam. Like, people will bend their entire life savings just for all that money to go away in the garbage. But I digress. All in all, investing is important. I mean, it will help pretty much anyone who works. If I was taught how to invest at school, I was about to say that I will be a millionaire by now, but that wouldn't be true. But it would definitely save me a lot of money from buying those garbage trash. Like, knowing how much money I wasted instead of putting it into investments just makes me so sad, man. And speaking of sadness, why doesn't school teach us about catering to your mental health? I can say with confidence that mental health is equally as important as your physical health. So looking after that is vital for human life. We don't ever want to be going out like this motherfucker right here. And it saddens me that schools aren't taking this seriously. I mean, look at everyone you see around. This is a sign that we have to practice catering to the mind and well-being at school. It can literally save lives, and this time I ain't even trolling. It can actually save lives. I ain't gonna lie. And speaking of saving a life, why don't I know how to administer first aid to save a life? I do know that no woman that King Henry VIII married survived, but I don't know or even have a single clue about basic survival. What if I'm stranded in the woods and I need to survive? How can I start my own fire? How can I administer first aid? What if someone's life is in danger and I'm the only person there that could save their life? What should I do? How can I administer CPR? I had to learn this all by myself. This is basic stuff that we all need to learn, as these type of situations could happen at any time. But I can't lie, if it was a beautiful girl's life at risk that I have to save, best know that I'm doing that CPR proudly. You could say that I got that constant pressure risk, if you know what I mean, you know, like that. By the way, all this I don't remember getting taught at school. Talk about getting quote-unquote educated. How is this getting educated? The education system in a whole must be refined. But who am I to say this? You know, what do I know about refining the education system when I'm just a guy who sits at home making YouTube videos and I was a C student? So maybe this video is a complete joke, since nothing will change. Well, it's done anyway, so what can I do, innit? It's been said.